beats us to the punch.
Honestly, man, I felt great the entire fight. I've dropped him, I think, 4 or 5 times in the first four rounds. 5th round came out. Felt like I'd won, if not all the rounds, at least the majority of them. And I felt confident going in the 5th round, and knew I had to either put him out of the fight then or finish out the 2 minutes. And ended up getting caught, knocked down for a minute, took a knee. Next thing I know, I get hit while I'm down, and my nose went sideways. And I just see blood pouring down, so I sit there for a minute. I heard the ref call it as far as a timeout to evaluate. So I sat there for a minute. I was trying to collect my thoughts. And then I realized how bad my nose was, and you can see just the blood pooling on the canvas, and I knew my nose was in bad shape. So the ref said, you're not gonna be able to continue. So then they ended up calling the fight due to the illegal shot of a down opponent. But I think even if they would have took it just a decision at that point, it would have been mine regardless. So I think it was a desperate move. I think it was unintentional, but I think he was in his feelings. I think he knew he had to finish me in that 5th and final round. And it was one of the things where emotions kind of took over, and he ended up making a mistake. It's fight of the night for sure. I mean, me and Brian, we both knew going into this fight that we wanted to lay it all out there. We both talked to each other behind the scenes and told each other, hey, look, don't matter who wins, don't matter who gets their hands raised. Let's go out there and put it on. So that was our intent, and we've talked about it left and right for 2 years trying to get this fight to happen. So the reason I traveled up here was to make this fight finally happen. I'm not a traveling guy. I hate traveling. I'm a homebody introvert. So the fact that we were able to do exactly what we said we were going to do for the last 2 years, man, it makes me feel proud. Me and Brian have talked probably like 5 times since the fight. He's come back and we've kept talking about it, about how, we're happy that we were able to put on the performance that we did and put on the show for the fans that we wanted to, because this is why we're in this. We're in this to put on a show. I honestly love jiu-jitsu, but BKFC's made me love doing the stand-up aspect of it. I used to think there's just kind of like a brute aspect to stand-up, and I love the technicality of jiu-jitsu. I like the chess match. I'm a nerd. I like trying to figure out puzzles. I've learned that there's very intricate details of stand-up from bare knuckle, and I'm gonna tell you now, boxing's a sweet science, but David Feldman said it best when he said that bare knuckle is the sweetest science, because you can't make much of a mistake in bare knuckle, and you have got to be on point with your defense, because it's hard to block a punch coming through with bare fist. I wake up in the morning, every morning at about 4:30. I work out before work. I work out for my hour lunch break on work, and then after work I come home. I spend a little time with my family, help my kids do their homework and such, and then have family dinner. After dinner, I'll go train for a little bit. I have a home garage I've invested in with all my fight money over the 16 years I've been doing it. And I'm fortunate to have a wife and 2 daughters who are very much behind me. And they understand whenever their husband or daddies are gone, that he's putting in work and he's chasing his dreams, and just like I want them to. So I always tell them if it ever gets to be too much, I'd give it up. But they're all behind me 100%. So I'm very blessed to have the family I do. This is Harris Stephenson with Bare Knuckle News. Nobody beats us to the punch.